Hello everybody. Today we're going to do something different. I'm going to make a reproduction of the rare Stanley hardware store sign. It's the tin sign with a plane on it. Let's take a look at the project. Seeing how I'm not a tin worker, I have absolutely no idea how to do it out of tin, I do it my way. And that's using a piece of wood, my reproduction signs that I sell on eBay. You need 2 of them. And the other parts you need are a drill bit, working from left to right, a pegboard hanger at the top, some spray lacquer, some orange paint, got a sanding block, 150 grit, either 3 or 4/0 steel wool, paintbrush, block plane, masking tape, a little plastic tub, and some wood glue. That's what it's going to take, along with the drill press, to do this project. The first thing you have to do is cut out your piece of wood. But let me tell you a little bit about the history of this thing before we get into the details. This sign was made in 1910 by the New York Metal Ceiling Company. The original sign, of course, was tin. It had an L bracket on one side that was used to hang it. My sign, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to use the pegboard hanger that you see right there. This book is in the Stanley Tool Guide, written by John Walter, page 110. It puts the value of the sign at $600 to $1,200. It's a rare sign. I've only ever seen one of them. It was at an auction. I got a couple good pictures of it, which allowed me to reproduce it, because I definitely couldn't buy it. That was on the 6th of November 2011. That sign sold for a whopping $1,600. I was willing to go all out and pay low book of $600. Not even close. So the way you can get it is make your own. So we're going to do that. The sign itself is 19¼ inches by 18½. I cut out my piece of wood about a 16-inch wider all the way around. After I cut my board, I used the block plane to clean up the edges on the outside, because my saw doesn't make the cleanest cuts in the world. And then I followed that up with some sanding all over to smooth up the board overall. After sanding your board, you want to take your sign, you want to make sure it fits, with a little bit of white space around the edges. And that's what we've got. The next thing you want to do is mix up a little wood glue with some water. What you want to do is thin your glue out slightly to the consistency of paint. But I almost forgot, before we start gluing, I want to put a couple thin coats of lacquer over the signs to start the finish and protect them while I'm doing the gluing. I've applied 1 coat. It only takes a few minutes for it to dry. I speed the drying by turning my high-speed exhaust fan on. Now I'm brush on my glue, making sure I've got the edges all the way out to the edges covered. You can always clean the edges up later. So that's everything with a good coat. Now we get the sign. And it will slide around, so that's good. So now I'm just going to work it from the inside out. These are really nice thick signs, so they're going to adhere down quite well. So it's been a minute or two. I've got a clean shop towel. I'm taking my finger, my thumb around the edge, and I'm pressing any wet glue out. Being careful not to get it on the sign, but if I do, it's okay. I put that coat of lacquer on there just for that. So far she's looking pretty good. There were a couple spots where I got glue on it, so I've got my 4/0 steel wool, just cleaning it up a bit. And the next thing I'm going to do is go around the edges to make sure they don't peel up while the glue dries. I mean, I could put a weighted board or something on there, do the same thing, but I'm going to flip it over and work on the other side, so this will work. That's it. She's looking pretty good. Now we flip over and repeat. Okay, so I've steel wool over the whole thing. That helps stick it down, and I'm going to do the same thing on these edges so I can let it sit and dry. I'm going to tape the edges just like I did on the front side. Isn't that a pretty sign? With the edges on both sides taped, I'm going to let it sit for 30 minutes and dry. That's going to give me time to do a little more work on Miller's Falls number 3 and the Miller's Falls number 33 sitting there while I waste a half hour. It's been 30 minutes, so I'm going to go over to the drill press and I'm going to drill the hole that I need to put the pegboard hanger into it. That hole is going to be about 2 inches down from the top edge, coming in from the S side that's going to be predominantly displayed. So I started the hole on the drill press. Of course it won't give me the depth that I need, so I'm going to finish it with my hand drill. But I do have to know what the depth is that I want, so I'm going to mark it with a piece of tape. It's going to be right there. With the hole drilled, the next thing I did was I cut off the excess hanger. Now I'm going to remove the masking tape. So if you're as dumb as I am, you'll use masking tape. Not a good idea, as you can see from the edges. The wife came out to check on me and said, "Won't that pull up the color?" And of course I said no. So what I'm going to do here is fix it by masking off with blue painter's tape the green part of the sign, and then I'm going to mist over some orange, because we got to do the edges anyhow. The idea was the only thing you have to paint is those edges right there. So let's see how this works. So what I'm going to do is go around and get the edges and let it mist over the top where I screwed it up. Looks like it's going to work really good. So I gave it a few minutes to dry, flipped it over, and did the other side. The next thing I'm going to do is give it several thin coats of lacquer. So I got 2 coats on one side, I flipped it over, I put 1 coat on this side. It's looking pretty good. After I've got 2 coats of lacquer on here, I'm going to go over it with a 4/0 or 3 steel wool. Both sides and the edges, smooth it up, see how it looks. So both sides have been steel wool, and now I'm making sure it's clean. Now I'm going to give it another coat, maybe 2, and repeat the process. I decided to go with 1 coat on each side because it's looking pretty good. And just in case you didn't see it, the orange paint that matched up so well, this is what it is. So with that coat applied and dried, it's repeating the process of shining it up with the steel wool, both sides and the edges. So I've gone over the whole thing. This is the last side. The repeated buildup of lacquer and steel wooling gives it a nice smooth finish, because the original is made out of enamel. And if you want to try to recreate the look as much as possible, I think this is about the best way to do it. Right now it's looking really good. Next thing I want to do is, you don't have to do this. I mean, you can buff it up a little bit more with just your shop paper towels, but I'm going to give it some wax. Just like the movie, wax on and wax off. And that's it for the wax on. Both sides, all the edges, good coat of wax. Now to wipe it off. Wax off. So the initial wax removal was with the blue shop towel, and after that I'm moving on to a microfiber towel to finish it. There, the wipe down with a microfiber towel is done. That's about as close as it's going to get to looking like enamel. And I only got one thing left to do, and that's to insert the pegboard hanger. And with the pegboard hanger inserted, there's only one thing left to do, and that's hang it up and admire how it looks. So there's something every workshop and man cave should have. No, not a Stanley number 2C. But that sign, doesn't that look great up there? Look at that. And here's a look at it from the other side. And there it is, a fun project done. A 1910 Stanley hardware sign. It didn't cost me $1,600. And you can make your own if you want to. I sell the signs on eBay. Go to my store. At the end of the video it gives the link, tells you where my store is at. And if you message me before you buy it, I'll give you 10% off. Just tell me you want to buy the sign and I can offer that a price lower through that message that you send to me. Or if you think you feel sorry for me because I can't afford shirts with sleeves, just pay the full price. That won't bother me either. Well, time for supper. Bye.